Because a planner is a visionary. And a visionary is a self-motivated person. And that's the kind of person that gets promoted. Joseph planned and he was promoted. God gave Moses a clear plan for the tabernacle, didn't he? Moses came down with the tabernacle on a piece of paper, all drawn out, clear. And the Bible says, Exodus 26 verse 30, set up the tabernacle according to the plan I have shown you on the mountain. God gave Moses a plan, not a building. David states in Psalm 20 verse 4, may he give you the desires of your heart and make all your plans to succeed. Everybody say desire. And desire is where? In your heart. David says get out your heart and your plans will succeed. God doesn't get your desires to succeed, he gets your plans to succeed. A plan is a documented desire. I hope you hear me tonight. This is very practical. When I come back next time, I want to be able to look at you and give me a package in my hand and say, this is it. This is the next 50 years of my life. This is what I want to do. You'll be amazed how that attracts the right people to you. How it attracts the right resources to you. Psalm 33 verse 11, the plans of the Lord stand forever, and the purposes of his heart throughout all generations. Proverbs 12:5, the plans of the righteous are right, but the advice of the wicked is deceitful. God has a purpose for each of our lives. We are all conceived and born for this reason, but we must write that reason on paper. It must become a plan. I want to close on a chapter that really became my protection as a young man and still is today. It's found in Proverbs chapter 16. And tell your neighbor something's coming. Proverbs chapter 16. I'd like for the ushers, please, to get the handout sheets and prepare to give them out for me, please. Proverbs chapter 16. Now, I want everyone to look at me. What you're about to read is God's instructions to you. This will also explain why you're not successful to the point where you would like to be right now. We're going to read verse 1 first. Verse 1. To man belongs the plans of the heart, but from the Lord comes the answer of the tongue. Now you sit there and you go, I don't know what he's talking about. All right. First line. To man belongs what? The plans of the heart. That means that are you getting the sheets, huh? Don't read that yet, please. Don't read it yet. Look at me. Very important to listen to what I'm saying first. To man belongs what? The plans of the heart. God is saying the plans are your responsibility. Putting the plans on paper is your responsibility. The next line, but to God belong the answer of the tongue. That means how it's going to be paid for is God's problem. It's an interesting Hebrew statement. It says here, to man belong the plans of the heart, but God will give the answer of the tongue. That means God is the one who is responsible for explaining how it's going to be accomplished. Okay. So God knows that the plan you're going to put on paper looks impossible. All these big things you have in your heart, God said, put them on paper, don't be afraid. God said, put the building on paper, put all those things you got in your heart, put them on paper. He said, now it looks like about 3, 5, maybe $20 million. No problem, put it on paper. He says, how it's going to be done is none of your business. Amen. That's my responsibility, he says. To man belong the plans of the heart, but to God belongs the explanation of how it's going to be done. Isn't that relieving? Yes. So write it down. Don't be afraid of how much it costs. I beg you. Because I've been through this. I know how frightening it is. Some of you are dreaming some serious stuff. God says, put it on paper. What do you see? Let's keep coming back to you. What is that dream that won't leave you alone? What's the vision you have of the building or the department or that construction building? What do you have? That studio you own or that dress store or that manufacturing plant for school clothes, or I don't know what it is. What is it you're dreaming? God says, I didn't ask you for the money. I asked you for the plan. I will explain, he says, how it's going to be done. Look at verse 2. All a man's ways seem innocent to him, but the motives are weighed by the Lord. When you put that plan on paper, check your motives. Is it just for you to get rich? Then it ain't from God. God's plans are always related to helping people become better. If your vision does not help humanity, it's from the devil. All of God's purposes are to fulfill God's purpose. Your motives got to be checked. Verse 3, commit to the Lord whatever you do, and your what? Plans will succeed. God says, you write them down, commit them to me, whatever you do will succeed. Verse 4, the Lord works out everything for his own ends. Even the wicked is involved in the system.
Right.
Boy, this gets me excited. God says, write your plan down. I ain't going to work with you without a plan. Now, when you get a plan, a lot of folks going to come against you. We just work them in the plan. The banker tells you no. God says, no problem. You work that no in. You teach the banker a lesson. The heart of the king is in the hands of the Lord. The government policy says you can't build this here because the zoning is wrong. God, no problem. We'll work that problem into the system. Be patient. I'm going to move the guy who's in power and change it next year. God says, I'm going to work everything, even the wicked will be a part of the process. But first you got to do what? Write the plan down. Verse 5, the Lord detests all the proud of heart. Be sure of this, they will not go unpunished. God says, even though he's working with the wicked, don't make fun of them. Don't be proud in your success as he works through you. Verse 6, through love and faithfulness, sin is atoned for. Through the fear of the Lord, a man avoids evil. That means principles. Keep your life on target with God's laws as the plans unfold. Number 7, when a man's ways please the Lord, he makes even his enemies to live at peace with him. Why? If you have a plan, you can't have any enemies. God will make enemies your friends. But you got to have what? Plan. Oh boy. Better is a little with righteousness than much with injustice. Values. Don't do anything unjust on your way to your plan. Take your time. It's better to have a little right now. Start it off right. Don't rush it. Don't steal money. Don't sell drugs to get money. Don't get bribes to move ahead. He says, take it right, move it right, take your time, keep your plan on schedule. Here's a big one. In his heart, a man makes his plans, but the Lord directs his steps. Oh, wow. Listen to it. In his heart, the man makes his plans, but the Lord directs his steps. For years as a Christian, I was praying for God to lead me, just like you're doing right now. And you've been feeling God ain't leading me. I don't hear the direction of God. I don't see the direction of God. Where is God? I need God. God seems so far away. Pastor always say the Lord spoke to him. He ain't speak to me. Brother Myles say the Lord led him. God ain't led me. These spiritual giants, they always get Lord leading them. The Lord don't lead little Christians like me. Where's God? I don't feel the presence of the Lord in my life. I don't feel no leadership of the Lord in my life. Read the verse again. The verse tells you what the problem is. The verse says, the heart of the man makes the plans. And then the Lord directs the steps of the plan. If you have no plan, God has nothing to direct. So you're praying for the last 5 years. Oh Lord, help me. Help you do what? I don't know, but just help me. Oh Lord, bless me. Bless you for what? Oh Lord, guide me. Where? Now this is serious. God says, if you don't have any plans, I have nothing to direct. If you ain't going in no direction, I cannot steer you. If you want the Lord to lead you, attract him.
Yeah.
Make a plan. As a Christian and a man or woman with a vision, you've got to put a plan on paper. Now, we already heard today, only about 30% are going to get it. So I don't expect any more out of you 30% people. Then there's the 60% people. Some of you are going to do it, 60% you're going to quit. But I got a dream for those 100%. I believe that some of you heard this word, a very practical word tonight. If you want God to lead you and guide you, then you must have a plan on paper. God will correct you if you have something to correct. Don't be afraid to commit yourself to paper, because the Bible says the heart of a man makes the plans.